At a Seattle hospital, Will and Samantha find out they're expecting a boy. Before heading to the airport, Will tells her he'll ask her dad for permission to marry. In Chicago, after business meetings, Will visits Samantha's parents, Tom and Paula. They welcome him, but there's clear tension. Over dinner, Tom brings up Will and Samantha moving in together and demands assurance that Will won't claim any of his financial help if they split. Will says they don't need the money, causing an argument. Paula tries calming them, but it doesn't work, so she ends dinner early to avoid escalation. Next morning, a video call from Samantha wakes Will. He's late for his flight. She wants to talk about her parents, but strange sounds interrupt the call. Samantha mentions a power outage and admits she's scared. Then the screen glitches and the call drops. Will keeps calling her on his way to the airport, but she doesn't answer. At the terminal, he learns all flights are canceled. News reports talk about major seismic activity off Southern California, but contact with the LA studio is lost. A report follows about mass outages in western regions. The airport loses power and screens fail. Will exits to find people panicking. He pays a taxi driver extra to return to the city. During the ride, he keeps calling Samantha, with no response. He gets to Paula's building and takes the stairs since the elevator is down. He explains what happened and sees jets overhead. Tom and Paula are packing. Tom says he'll find Samantha while Paula visits their son. Will agrees to join Tom. Outside, traffic is horrible as people try to flee. GPS and phone services are down, and stores are being looted. At a supermarket, Tom goes for supplies while Will fills gas. A woman flirts with Will, but when he rejects her, her group threatens him. Tom intervenes, fakes offering money, then pulls a gun to scare them off. As they leave, Will is upset Tom didn't mention the gun. On the highway, traffic worsens and the army has blocked the road. Tom pleads with the soldiers and they allow him to pass. They spot trains loaded with military gear heading west. That night, a police car pulls them over. Will approaches the officer, but Tom realizes it's a fake cop and shouts for him to return. The man tries to shoot, but Tom drives in reverse, hitting the police car. Will jumps in and they escape. The fake officer gives chase, so Tom tells Will to load the gun. He crashes into them. Tom regains control. Driving side by side, Will shoots but misses. Tom instructs him how to load the gun properly. They trade collisions until Tom drives near an abandoned vehicle, forcing the cop to crash into it. Soon, deer appear and Tom swerves, crashing downhill into a tree. The fake cop catches up and aims at Will. Tom surprises him from behind, knocking him out. He then tells Will he has broken ribs. They take the police car and use it to tow Tom's vehicle. Next day, they reach a trailer park where residents are suspicious. At the garage, they meet Ricky, who agrees to help. The radio reports that only local and shortwave radios work. Government communication has ceased. While news and cries for help play, they notice birds flying strangely. Tom checks a painful bruise in the bathroom. Ricky warns the repair won't last. Tom offers to pay her to join them on the road so she can fix it again. After a pause, she agrees but asks for more money. They load her gear and leave. At night, they see a car behind them and turn off lights to let it pass. Then they follow, using its taillights for guidance. Ricky's compass needle spins wildly. Suddenly another car appears, and Will swerves. The new car crashes into the first, sending both off-road. Will checks for survivors and finds none. Ricky finds a dying man and his dead wife. She wants to help him, but Tom says it's too far and he'll die anyway. Tom and Will return to the car while Ricky stares at the bodies. A strange vehicle arrives with suspicious men. Tom speeds up to flee, but Will urges him to get Ricky first. Tom complies but says it's only for Will's sake. Ricky is offended and refuses to fix the car again. Tom makes her hit her head to shut her up. Later they stop for gas and observe odd cloud behavior. Lightning strikes a pole, starting a violent storm. Visibility worsens, so they take shelter under a bridge. The next day, the journey continues with better weather. While driving past a radio tower, the car briefly picks up a signal. The reporter explains that internet and cell service are still down, and there's no word from the government. A few miles later, the group finds the road blocked by townspeople. The sheriff hesitates but lets them pass after Will names locals he knows. Will then visits his friend Meg, who's distraught about her husband being missing since before the disaster. Will comforts her, Ricky checks the car, and Tom refills their water. Meg has an emotional breakdown, fearing the worst, but Will reassures her before they hit the road again. They see smoke and find a crashed military jet, which Ricky suspects was shot down. Later they reach a water park to scavenge. Ricky jumps into a pool but finds the water boiling hot. A helicopter passes by, and the group starts searching. The cash is gone, tires slashed, but they still get gas. Tom struggles lifting the tanks due to his injury, so Will helps. That night, passing an antenna, phones suddenly react. Tom hears a choppy voicemail from Samantha, full of static. He tries to call Paula but fails. They see people coughing and smoke rising ahead. Upon entering the smoke zone, a woman begs for help with a flat tire. But armed men emerge. She was bait. They rob the trio's fuel. Will fights back but gets beaten. Tom tries drawing his gun but collapses from pain. They force Ricky to fill their tank and steal the gas. Will offers to take the woman with them, but she insists on staying with her unconscious husband. The robbers flee, but Will pursues. They open fire, so Will rams their car. Tom, coughing badly, gives his gun to Ricky, who misses at first, but eventually hits their tires, making them crash. As Ricky tries reclaiming the gas, one man refuses to release it. She fights and wins, running just before the car explodes. Later she breaks down, shaken by the deaths she caused. Tom and Will comfort her, reminding her she saved them. At dawn, Ricky is gone. Her gear's missing, and Will realizes she left. Tom admits they shouldn't have made her come. Tom's condition worsens. They find a crash site, and while Will scavenges fuel, he returns to find Tom barely breathing. He relieves pressure from Tom's lungs with a needle. Driving again, Tom makes Will promise to care for Samantha. They connect over family, and Tom admits Will be a good father. At night, they reach a bridge full of abandoned cars. A group of armed men block the road. Will senses danger and backs away. Men on bikes chase them. Will shoots while driving and makes sharp turns until the bikers crash. A truck blocks their way, but Tom fires as Will swerves, forcing the truck off the road. They cross the bridge, but Tom dies soon after. Will stops, mourns, then burns the car and Tom's body. The next day, walking alone, he's ignored until one family offers a ride after disarming him. At a house owned by Will's dad, he rests, then trades all supplies for their car. Before leaving, he retrieves his gun. Eventually, Will reaches a destroyed city. Ash falls and cars are everywhere. He enters a fire truck to grab a gas mask, then walks, avoiding wrecks, until he reaches his apartment. Inside, he finds it half collapsed and a message from Samantha revealing her location. Will speeds to the address, where Jeremiah greets him with a gun until Samantha intervenes. She hugs Will, and later he tells her how Tom saved him. That night, Will finds them around a fire, staring at strange northern lights. Samantha explains people evacuated due to a supposed quake. Jeremiah believes it was a nuclear strike and a virus knocked out communications. Will doubts this theory, and in private, Samantha says she doesn't believe it either. They get intimate. Later, Will sees Jeremiah inspecting his car. In the morning, Jeremiah says he was drunk. Will brings up the car and Jeremiah blames kids, prompting them to investigate. They only find deer. Will says they're leaving. Jeremiah claims Samantha wants to stay and pulls a gun, but Will shoots first. A dark cloud races toward them. Will grabs Samantha and they flee. The storm chases them across the highway as they desperately try to survive. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.